everyone, welcome back to Lovely Lavender Wishes. It's Renee. Now, I have been having a few questions on the foil, the reactive foil. Y'all, I am not an expert on this at all. I literally just got this foil, started using it this year, and just been kind of playing around with it. Now, how this works, you can go online and go on YouTube. There's a ton of ways how that works. Mink is one brand of foil, as well as, let me see, We Are Memory Keepers. Let's see. Foil Quill, We Are Memory Keepers. So how this works, it's heat activated foil, which means you need some kind of adhesive or heat to get this foil to stick. So you can't just run it through an embossing machine, let's say, one of those machines that I showed the other day where you were embossing paper like this. This is just regular foil paper. You can run that through an embossing machine, but you can't run like a regular piece of paper with a piece of this reactive foil on top through your embossing machine and hope that it's all gonna stick to the raised parts, okay? Unless you have some kind of adhesive material or heat working, okay? So, let's see. What you need, if you want to print out a piece of paper, let's say you're saying happy birthday to someone and you type it out on a printer. It has to be a laser printer. So the ink in there has to be from a laser printer. And then you put the foil on top of that page and run it through a laminator. So it's that heat that's activating, and then the heat will activate with the ink or something in that, that you printed on that piece of paper, and the foil will stick to those words, the happy birthday words. So I don't have a laser ink printer, as well as I don't have a laminator. So I can't use those methods. Now, another thing, Mink has this little machine out that you can buy in craft stores. And I think it's kind of like a laminator as well. It's this little machine that you can run your pages through, and it'll attach to words or stencils or whatever images you have. See, it'll make, like hello, it'll do stencils, different things. I don't have that machine either. So, and maybe one day I'll get them, but I don't have room for more machines, and I don't think I'd use it as much. What I did get, though, was this heating foil quill pen. The tip's tiny, if you can see that the tip is tiny, so I'm not going to be able to do like a whole stencil. But for example, let's say I wanted to do like a mini stencil here, like one of these. I could put my foil paper on top of this. So if this was plugged in, it would be heated up. I'd put my foil paper on top of here, and I would just color in my stencil. You can feel where the grooves are and such. You can color in your stencil, and this will transfer the foil into this image on your sheet. Does that make sense, y'all? Or I can write happy birthday with this foil. I could take the foil with the pen, I could write happy birthday or whatever I want to write, or draw pictures or whatever, and it'll transfer it to the paper. But again, it's going to be thin unless I go in and color in like this, color it in. And that will take a while. So if you wanted to do a whole sheet of stencils or something, you would probably want to get the laminating machine or something that you can just run it through the machine and it'll do it for you. So you need some kind of adhesive or heat. So that's why I've been showing you all with glue sticks how you can put glue on a piece of paper. Let me grab one of my tags. Like I showed this the other day, you can put glue along the edges and put the foil and rip it off. Now, you're not going to get a very clean line with the glue stick. It's going to be more of a frayed, antique-y type look. Now, if you want a clean line, what you would need is some double stick tape. Again, because you got the adhesive. So let me show you what that looks like. If I have an example. I thought I had an example. Oh, the lawn people are here. Okay, let me do it real quick on camera so you can see what it would look like. Let me move some of this stuff. Okay, so if you have double stick tape, I'm just gonna do a little piece here. So if you wanted a clean line across the edge, you would put your tape down like that, peel off the back. Okay, so here's my, if you can see that, there's my tape. Where's my foil? Grab your foil. And then grab your burnisher, whatever you have, a card, a burnisher, whatever you're using. And you're gonna burnish that down. And lift it up, and there you go, look at that. You've got a really clean line. So you can see the difference between this one and using a glue stick. So here, I'll use a glue stick now. So now I'm just gonna kind of use a glue stick. Again, that's my adhesive. And I'm gonna stick my foil down, burnish it, and then pull off. So can you see the difference? You've got a really clean line here with the double stick tape, and you've got like a frayed line there. I like this look for certain things, and I like that look for certain things. Now, if you have a thicker, any kind of double stick tape would work. So if you want to cut out an image, if you have a thick sheet of like maybe double-sided tape or double-sided adhesive sheets, you can die cut things from your double adhesive sheets and then put the foil over that, or peel the other side off, put the foil over that and burnish it. So you would get this look on your die cut if you had any kind of double-sided sticky. You need some kind of adhesive, okay? So then I was fooling around and going, well, what can I get my stamps to work somehow with some kind of adhesive? So I tried my craft glue. I wiped my craft glue on this and put it down, and I just got, let me show you, let's see, one of these. So I just got like a big smear with my craft glue. Then I tried putting my craft glue on, dabbing it up a little bit, and then put it on, and that's what I got. So it's a better impression. Then I did a glue stick, and I got even a better impression. So we'll try that. I'll show you how I did that. So I just took my glue stick. Now you have to make sure you have paper towel or water nearby so you can clean this off quickly, because you don't want it to ruin your stamps, but it works on all your stamps. I mean, especially the ones with the really, really tiny details you might have more of an issue with. But okay, so I smeared my glue stick on my stamp. So there, it's on my stamp. You can kind of see it. See it. So then stamp it down. It's gonna stick. And then I'm gonna spray this off and try to wipe this off, and I'll wash it in the sink after this, because you don't want it all sticky. But if you just want like one impression, this is a good way, I think. We'll see if it works. I mean, it works pretty well for me. You might have to try it a couple times. Whoop. So let's do it the right way, shall we? So put your image down, or your foil on top of your image, and then you're gonna burnish it. And then peel it up, and voila, look at that. It's not as clear or as defined as you would get like if you ran it through a heating machine, but hey, it's another alternative. So if you like that look, you can get that look with glue stick on your stamp. So then I wanted to see, will it work on my clean stamps? And this is a little snowflake, because I've been working on my winter journal. So I did the same thing, covered it with glue. Y'all, sorry about the noise. They're right outside my window. Okay, press it down, take it up. I'm gonna spray this off. Okay, that looked a little clumpy there. We'll see if that one works. So I take my foil, press it down. Now I'm gonna burnish it down. Now this is you can use this for little stamps. Like if you want to do a whole page, it's a lot of work. You might want to get the laminating machine. Yeah, see, that one didn't work as well. Let's try it again. Let's see. Because it did work on, that's why you have to kind of play with it and test it out. But these are just some hacks you can use in case you don't have any heating tools or anything like that, but you still want to play with the foil. Let's see. We'll see if it works this time. I don't know. That one worked a little better. So you can kind of see. So this is my first attempt. It didn't work too well. This is my second attempt. And then let me show you, let's see where I had it. Oh, here. Ooh, they're really loud. Okay, so these were like my 3 attempts. So that one didn't work too well. That one worked a little better. You can see the snowflake. And then that one was probably one of my best. So it doesn't come out super clear, but you get the impression of a snowflake. So if you wanted maybe a couple of these on your page in the background, and again, you don't have a heating tool, and you want to use your stamps, this one actually turned out, I mean, pretty good. I mean, I missed a little spot, a couple spots. Let's try it one more time. One more time, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I was just kind of playing with this just to kind of see what we can do with these. No, I can already tell that won't work. I got some clumps there. Maybe if I smear it with my finger and then do it. That one looks better. Okay, we'll try them both and see which one works. But it's all, I was just kind of playing with these and trying to figure out different ways, but you definitely need an adhesive. Well, kind of. That one didn't work at all. I had some glue that it's stuck to. That one, yeah, I had some glue right there that it stuck to too, but that would have been good if we didn't have that. So that's probably one of my best ones. So again, just kind of play with it. But that's just another idea that you can, you know, maybe try. I really like this. I think it works better with these, with ones with not so many details on them. So if you have a stamp like this, I think those work a little better. So that's an idea. Okay, then I was thinking, okay, well, can I get it through my stencil somehow? Now, I don't have any spray adhesive. I did, and then I ran out. If you have spray adhesive, they say you can take a stencil, put it on your paper, you know, tape it down, spray the spray adhesive through your stencil, peel your stencil up, make sure you clean it because it'll get sticky, and then you'll have your spray adhesive on your paper. You can take a large sheet of foil, put it over the whole page, burnish it, and it'll stick like this, kind of like, you know, like the double-sided tape. So I don't have any spray adhesive. So I was like, okay, well, will it work with a glue stick? So now I know for sure it'll work with a pen because I've done it before. So I don't have it plugged in, y'all. I have to get a extension cord for this. But this gets hot, so you would put the foil over this and just kind of color in the stencil. But again, that takes a long time because it's a small, small tip. So if you have spray adhesive, I think that would work really well. So then I tried hairspray. Well, hairspray did not work. So then I tried my glue stick. So let's see if we can get this to work. So I did my glue stick over the stencil, and then I went in with my finger to like smooth it out, make sure it's getting in all the grooves. And again, this will make your stencil sticky, so you want to make sure that you clean it off when you're done. And we'll see how this works. Okay, you can kind of see it on the paper. Let's see, can you all see that? See this? See, it's there. So there's my adhesive. Let me just wipe that off really quick before that dries. And then now let's see if this will work. Let me get a clear sheet here. Okay, you can see it through the foil. There's my leaves right there. There's my stem. So let's burnish it and see. So again, this will work, I think, if you have like a smaller stencil or just one little area you want to do, because it would take too long to do like a full page without a laminating machine or maybe double stick tape or whatever. Oh, almost. And you can always go back in and burnish it some more. Kind of. So there's through a stencil, y'all, with a glue stick. So you're not gonna get like a super clear, clean thing, but if you don't mind the antique-y kind of look or the frayed look, that's just another option. So I'm just trying to give y'all options. I kind of like it. I like that look. So I did, let's see, I did a couple through this stencil. I thought I did. Yeah, I did a few, but they didn't turn out. Like, here's one leaf, but it only did the edges right there. I did a few, but this one worked out pretty good. And then I tried using my craft glue with a brush. This seemed to be a little too wet. So maybe what would be better is if you put your craft glue through your stencil, lifted it up, let it dry a little bit till it's like tacky, and then go in with your foil. When I tried it, I put the glue through the stencil with a brush. So I just brushed it, you know, through the stencil, lifted it up, put this on, and it just kind of smeared the glue everywhere and just made a big blob. So that didn't really help. So I think you need to let your glue dry a little bit till it's like tacky. So that's why then I went to the glue stick, because this is just tacky, and that worked. So another idea for that. Okay, so I'm trying to think what else. Oh, if you have glue pens, again, I have a glue pen somewhere, but I think it dried out. So if you have, let's see, yeah, Quickie glue. I think this one's dried out. Yeah. If you have a glue pen or like a glue marker, again, you can probably, you know, go in and color through these. You know, if you have like a glue marker, you can just swipe it, swipe it, swipe it, lift it up, and then have the same thing. You just need some kind of adhesive. Pop dots will work, are those little glue dots. If you want to make dots all over your page, put the glue dots down. Those little, let me see if I can grab one of those. Let's see. So these are clear adhesive dots. They're like little glue dots. And pull it out, come on. Gosh, I haven't used these in forever. I used to use these in scrapbooking a lot. So these are, if you can see those little glue dots, see? So actually, let's put one on the page since I have it out. So you press it down onto the page, pull up your sheet. So there's my little glue dot right there on the page, if you can see it. And then take your foil. Now this dot is, I'm gonna squish it down a little. It's kind of raised up. And then there you go. Pull your foil off and you've got a little dot on your page. So if you want to do polka dots, you could put little glue dots everywhere and then put your foil. And that one comes out really clear because, again, depending on your adhesive, it's gonna stick to the foil a lot better. So that's what you need for the foil. You need either heat or you need some kind of adhesive. So the other thing, finally, I want to show you what I really tried, and I was really hoping it would work, and it works a little bit. Okay, so let me clear this off real quick, get myself organized. Okay, I got that sheet. Actually, let's do, okay, so do I want to try, we'll try with this one. Okay, so I got my Versamark. So then I was thinking, well, embossing is using heat, right? So can we emboss? And while it's heated up, can we get the foil on there? again, with a different heating tool. So this is just clear embossing powder. So I got my snowflake on there, so you can see the snowflake. Can y'all see it? Right there. There's a snowflake. Okay, so I tried a couple ways. The first way I tried was putting the foil on top of the embossing powder, putting the foil like this, and then heating it up. It just turned into a big puddle, big blob of a mess. So then I tried heating it like this. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna explain it to you first, and then I'm gonna try it, because you gotta kind of concentrate while you're doing this. So you're gonna heat it up to the point where it's just starting to melt, it's getting hot. And then very quickly, you gotta take the heat off and put your paper, your tin foil on it quickly, and then burnish it while it's still hot. So I'm gonna try that and we'll see how it works. And I've tried it a few times and I got different results. So it's something, again, you gotta kind of play with. So let's try it and see what happens. So I'm gonna heat it up. And I wanna get it to the point where it's just starting to melt. If I can see, I can't even really see it, but. And then get your, no, see, that didn't work. Maybe I can heat it up again. Okay, get it where it's just starting to melt. I think I did it a little too early. And get your foil on there and then burnish it. Yep, no, that one didn't work. Let's try it one more time. This one's a little temperamental. Little temperamental, but if you have the patience and you really want to try it and you really want to get the effect, I mean, if you don't have any heating tools, this might be. And again, someone might have a better method of doing this than I do. I've just been playing with this morning, so I didn't really look anything up. There might be a better way of doing this. So YouTube is your friend, y'all. Go on YouTube and see if you can check things out. So you can look under how to use reactive foil. Oh, I just put my finger on it. How to use reactive foil without a heating tool or something. And some of these methods might come up. Okay, so let's try it one more time. See what happens. See if I can get it where it's starting to melt. You gotta be quick with it, y'all. Right when it's starting to melt, because you need it to be able to adhere to the tin foil or the foil. Well, that one worked a little better. See the look you can get with that? So it's possible, but man, you gotta kind of really play with it. And you don't get as clear. And maybe if you keep playing with it, like you do 2 or 3, you might get a real clear one that you can cut out and put on your page or something like that. So it does work. It's just temperamental. Okay, so let me move all that. That's the first thing I wanted to go over, was the foil and different ways you can play with it. So you can use your stamps. You can use your, you just need some kind, you can use your stamps, your stencils, whatever. You just need some kind of either heat tool or sticky. So double-sided tape, double-sided adhesive sheets, pop dots, glue pens, glue sticks, anything. So you can use your stamps, either stamps, wooden or clear. Your stencils you can use with glue through them. And you can kind of fool around with that and see what works for you. But if you want the really clear, really crisp, you're gonna need a double-sided either tape, adhesive paper, whatever, or some heat. This is how the foil will look when you put it through a heat machine, any kind of heat machine. But I still got almost the same effect with the embossing, but man, you gotta be quick with that. Okay, so that's that. Let's move all this. Now the other question I've been getting is, how do I make my ribbon? So I made some last night. Let's move all this, get myself organized. Let me wipe this off. I've got powder everywhere. Okay, so you need some water. You can either use spray or I just use a little cup of water. So I showed you the double stick tape. Let me move all that. Okay, you need some kind of seam binding, and then you need some kind of inks. I've just been using my Dylusions ink sprays. It doesn't have to be sprays. You can use distress ink, any kind of ink. Okay, you can use, you know, things that you like squirt. You don't want to squirt it in the water unless you want a really light color. Okay, so here are the ones that I made last night. And on a bonus, when you put it on paper towel to dry, look at the cool effect you get on that. So I might use that in some things too and cut it out or use those as collages. So look at how pretty. Woo. Okay, so made all these last night. I was just kind of fooling around. So depending on what kind of ink color and how deep your color is, and I like, if you want an even color throughout your ribbon, you want to make sure that it's very saturated and you get the color evenly distributed. I like putting like dots and just kind of squishing it in, and then when it dries, like depending how it's laying, the ink's gonna settle into different areas. So you can see it was probably, this ribbon was probably laying like this, up and down. So all the ink started like saturating towards the bottom. But I kind of like that look. You get like this little tie-dye or different kind of look. So I like that. But this one was more evenly distributed. This one, as you can see, just like pink. And I think on this one, I put some of the silver pearlescent colors. Yes, you can kind of, I don't know if you can see some of the shimmer and shine in there. But I went in and dabbed, here's some, maybe you can see that better. I don't know. Dabbed some of the Pearl X Pearl powders. You can kind of see in different spots how it glitters. So I went in with a brush and glittered it up a little bit so it's got some shimmer and shine. So people have been asking, how do you do this? There's many ways you can do it. I'll show you my way because it's just the way I do it. It's easy peasy. So take your seam binding. Now, a lot of people do wear gloves, plastic gloves. I did this all day yesterday when I was done, or for all these yesterday. When I was done, I had ink on my fingers, but look, by the next day, after washing my hands a couple times, I'm pretty clean. I mean, they're a little messy, but I'm pretty clean. So I don't mind just using my hands. Okay, so I think I want more of a bluish purple ribbon here. So the first thing I do is just stick my ribbon. You can either stick your ribbon in here or get it all wet like this. I just stick it in there, super easy. It's easier. Okay, I'm gonna grab these because this is where my ribbon is going to set. So grab some paper towels or something that your ribbon can, gosh y'all, my desk is a mess, that your ribbon can sit on and dry. So I'm gonna put that right there. Okay, so this is all wet. I'm just gonna open this up. You can spray it, but I don't wanna spray because I make a mess. I'm just gonna dab some of the color onto my nonstick sheet here. You want to squeeze out the water. You just want this really damp. So just squeeze out the water, okay? Now, if you don't like them all squiggly like this, you can iron them, but I like the scrunchy look. So that's what happens when you squeeze out the water, it gets all scrunchy. And then you're gonna dip it in your ink and swirl it around. Some people will have different jars of like little watered down ink, and they'll just put the whole ribbon in, like, you know, they'll put ink in here with just like maybe a few, just a little teeny tiny bit of water and swish it around. I like this look where it's not evenly distributed. Like I said, if you want it evenly distributed, just keep going and work it in and it'll even out. But I like having dark spots, light spots, that kind of thing. And then I also want to go in with some purple and have some purple spots. So I'm just putting some ink on there and just kind of, and you can work it in. But again, this one I want different spots. Now, if you want it evenly distributed, you can get it wet and it'll spread it out and make it real even. Actually, do we want some pink? Let's just add some pink. Let's see what happens if we add a little bit of... Ooh, see, cool. There you go. So this ribbon, as you can see, is going to have, once it dries a lot lighter, but it's going to have, you know, different darker spots and such. If you, like I said, if you want just one color, you just would put one color on here, and depending on how much water you use, or how you just put a couple drops of ink, you could always make these darker as you go. Now let's say I don't want that. Just go in the water and just start, see, it'll start spreading out with water, and you can kind of more evenly distribute it through your ribbon if you want. So you just gotta, again, this is another thing you have to kind of play with. And then you just wipe this up, and then just put your ribbon on paper towel or wherever to the side that you want to dry. And like I said, depending how it's laying like this, sometimes the ink will settle in different areas, and you'll get, see, so my fingers were all like this yesterday, even darker yesterday, but once you wipe them off, it's fine. But if you're going somewhere nice that night, you might want to wear some gloves, just some little plastic gloves. But again, like I was saying, if your ribbon is sitting a certain way and the ink starts to settle while it's drying, you'll get these looks on the edges, which I think is neat. I like it. So, and again, this one I didn't distribute so evenly, so I have all these different kind of colors in it. So I like that because it just gives your ribbon like this really cool look. So that's how I make my ribbon. So you can, this stuff comes in, this is Hug Snug. It comes in 100 yards. Did I see that? Yeah, 100 yards. You can get them thick, thin. I think there's a variety of, so you get all this. So it's a lot you can get in here. So you can make ribbon up the wazoo, just make your own. And I like the crinkly look of these. Oops, drop that. But yeah, you can take whatever inks you have. You could do metallic inks if they work. So this is, this was my silver powders. I gotta mix it. This was my silver, you can see that, Pearl X powders in gum Arabic and a little bit of water. And this, I took a brush and just did spots on like this pink one that I said. And so when it hits the light, you can see the sparkle in it. So just kind of fool around with inks and such, and then you just let it dry overnight. So you can make just yards and yards of this stuff, all different colors. And then I have a feeling like this one's gonna be pink and purples and some blue, some bluer spots. So that's gonna look cool. And then you can just put it on a paper towel and make some more background for yourself. But yeah, depending on what kind of inks you have, these were the ones that I just grabbed for my winter journal. So that's how I make my own ribbon. If I don't have colors that I want, this is the way to do it, y'all. Just buy one of these, just one. And then you can even do it, let me see if I can show you how you can do it with just regular ink. If you don't have any sprays, okay, so I'm just gonna do a little bit, stick it in the water. So let's see what kind of inks I have here. I got tumbled glass. These are just what I have on hand, so I'll just use them. So let's see. You just need some water. It has to be water-based. Well, don't quote me on that because I'm not sure if it has to be water-based ink. Because are these dilutions? I think they're water-based. Yeah, because when you spray it with water, it shifts around. So I think it helps if it's water. See, so you can just smear your ink on some kind of like just nonstick. And there you go. And so if you want it, like I said, evenly dispersed, you just kind of keep playing with it and work it in. And if you don't, you don't. Actually, I like that color. I think I'm going to just leave this one, this color. And then you just keep bringing up the color. And if you want it darker, you can let this dry and then go back in and do some more. Well, if you go back in with water, it might, I wonder, I haven't even tried. I haven't tried that. If you go back in with water, I wonder if it would just since it's water-based ink, it might just react with the previous ink and just mess it up. So I guess you just, if you want it darker, you just add more color now and just keep adding more color as you go. Less water, more color. So, you know, you can get rid of as much water as you want. And I think if you, the less damp this is, the more it'll pick up the color. So for example, let's see, let me grab just like a little sheet. So this one I didn't even get wet. Okay, this one I did not get wet. So let's run it over the color and see what happens if you don't get it wet. Today's just a day of experimenting, y'all. I haven't tried some of this. So, okay, so that is not wet. Maybe if we just dampen it a little. So the less water you have, the darker it'll be. You'll pick up more ink. So you can make them darker with the less water. But you do need to get them just a little damp, little wet. So this one was soaking in the water. This one was not. And look, see, you get a darker look. So if you just maybe just spray it a little with your water and then put more ink. And then if you want it even darker, put more ink and just keep going in with it. And get darker and darker and darker. So again, it's, you know, trial and error, play with it. But I like this too, because you're never going to get the same result ever. Unless, you know, you're a professional at this and you just know exactly, you know, the ratio of whatever. And I don't. So I just play with it until I like the color. And then I'm like, okay, I'm done. You know, I did it. You know, that's the color I want. So, and then you just come wipe it off and then do your next color ink. And it's as easy as that. And then I just put these to the side like this to dry overnight. Or it doesn't really take that long to dry, just depending on how wet they were. But you can see more water, less water. So, and see again, this is what your fingers will look like the longer you play with this. But then by the end of the day, after washing my hands a few times, it was gone. But if you don't like that, wear some gloves. So there we go. That is just my quick video for the day, playing around, showing you how to do a few things and answering some questions. So I hope y'all, that helped y'all. Just, you know, again, experiment. That's all I do all day long. I'm like, what if I do this? Or I'll be doing something and then I'll be like, I wonder if this would work, or I wonder if that would work. And then, because I don't like looking everything up on YouTube, sometimes I just want to experiment on my own and just kind of play around with things. So if you're not a computer person, you don't want to look things up or whatever, then just experiment on your own. Just play with it, because that's how things, you know, get figured out. So anyways, hope that helped y'all. Thank y'all for joining me. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, y'all.